Good morning, everybody. As you can see behind me here, we've got a beautiful fire burning inside of my father-in-law's shop, and we've used this shop on many occasions to do different work projects, different things of that sort, and today's no different. In fact, where I'm standing, I'm going to pull my car in. I'm going to do a couple of things on it. I've got to put a couple of new wheel bearings on the back and a couple of new shocks on the back, and I'm not going to do a how-to video on that. I'm not a professional mechanic. Thanks to YouTube, actually, I'm actually even going to endeavor to try to do the job. I feel like it's an easy job, I can handle it, but it's not a how-to video. Here in Maine, it gets cold here, and if you're going to get anything done in the wintertime, you pretty much need a heat source and a building to hold that heat in. It's exactly what my father-in-law has here. I fired it up this morning, and it's already real warm in here. He's also got an oil burner over here burning. So between the two things, it's already very comfortable and warm in here. I'm going to raise the garage. I'm going to move some things around in here, pull the car in, and let everything kind of thaw out. I've always enjoyed fixing problems and making things better. It's sort of my nature to just take something that's broken and fix it, or something that's old and make it new. And I just enjoy that. That thing is so warm. This is blowing out air right here. It's sort of like a radiator for a fireplace. And so the heat travels up through this and it gets redistributed. I am excited. So let's get started. While I'm at it today, I'm going to go ahead and change the oil in the car. It's time for that as well. I'm using lobster traps here as sort of a stand. I brought my tools down, but my father-in-law has way more tools than I do. Things like 2-ton jack. Change the oil first. Mainers are very self-reliant and self-sufficient. It's just part of their nature, part of their makeup. And you sort of have to be here in the state of Maine because it's awful cold during the winter, and you got to make it through the winter. In fact, where we live in Union, they have a saying, come spring. The old timers had a saying, come spring, and that was because, well, if we can make it through the winter, come spring, we will. In fact, there's a diner right up the road called Come Spring Cafe. My father-in-law is so self-reliant and has all of these different things around. I was looking for a light, and sure enough, he has a light on a pulley system with a retractable hookup that I could just extend and put it under the car and light up the underbelly of the car so that I can, you know, do what I need to do. It's just like the funniest thing when you're looking around for something. Oh, there's something I can use. Oh, I can use that. All right. So I drained the oil. I removed the oil filter. Oiled the new O-ring on the new oil filter and installed that. Made a mess in the process, of course. And now I'm going to put new oil into the engine, and we're going to be done with the oil change, which is nothing much to an oil change. On this particular bottle, and maybe all bottles, you have a little line. It's an indicator where the oil is, how much left you have in it. And I know that this engine takes 4.5 quarts. So I know I've got to get down to a 1/2 quart. So everybody, we've got the brake off and I'm down here to what my problem is, and look at that. I don't know if you can really hear that or not, but that is a really bad bearing. So we've got the right problem, which means we've got the right part, which means this is going to make a difference. I got 4 bolts in the back here to take out, and then this will pop right off and I'll put the new one in. You know, I do have a drill. There it is. The old part. Inside here is your bearing. Inside this piece here. See, this is what turns inside. It is all corroded. Wouldn't surprise me if it's because of where we live in the state of Maine. Those probably go bad faster up here. And I'm going to do this on both sides. How about that? Yeah, I'm out with the old, in with the new. Oh man. Way smoother. Inside here, pop this plastic off and took out a couple of bolts. That's for the shock. Those bolts there. After quite a bit of time, I don't know, an hour, I finally got this rear shock out. That was a little bit of a job. Now I've got to reinstall the new one, and as hard as this one was to come out, I'm hoping it's not the same difficulty going in. So this is the new part. It looks cleaner. Alright everybody, I'm as dirty as an old hog, and I've been in here for hours. I don't know what time I started, but it's 5 o'clock, so now I'm going to start on the other side. Should go a little faster, obviously. You learn on your first side and you're faster on your second. Fire's blazing hot, I'm as warm as can be in here, and just having a good time, slowly getting this done. I'm all done, and I think those shocks must have been bad, because I know that they'll probably settle a little bit, but the car's sitting up a lot higher in the back than it was. I wish I'd have measured it, but I didn't. So, but I'm sure it'll settle some over a period of time. So glad to have all of it done, including those shocks. Huge job over with, and I'm glad it's done. So I'm a disgusting mess. I'm gonna go get cleaned up, and then maybe we'll take it for a test drive. Okay, we are just starting down the road. It's late, 7:42. We already can tell it's completely different. Okay everybody, obviously I'm back in my house, and it's been several days since I did all of the repair work on the car. Certainly the shocks were bad, as evidenced by how smooth the car is running. No longer do we have the bouncing in the rear of the car. When you hit a bump and your car starts to bouncing up and down like this, it's a pretty good indicator that your shocks are bad. Also, the rear of the car was making all kinds of rackets, sort of like tires that were completely out of balance. Maybe knots in the tires, just had this roar to it. That could be your tires, or it could be wheel bearings. It wasn't our tires. Replaced the wheel bearings, and now the rear of the car is silent. A few hours of work and some parts later, and the car is running better than maybe it has since I've owned it, and that car has been a very good car, very dependable car for us, and we love it. So anyway, I hope that, you know, this was a really different video. It's a little different than what we normally do, but it is true day in the life. There's some things that we do, you know, sometimes off camera you don't see. This one would have probably been off camera, but I decided to make it a part of our channel for this particular video. And I know you ladies out there are bored stiff and for that I apologize. The next video we'll get back to our normal routine. In the meantime, God bless, and we'll see you soon.